Hey, Donna, you've got some serious explaining to do. I mean, seriously, what do you have to say for yourself? You call this lunch? You know that I hate mushrooms. Why did you pack me these nasty, slimy things in my lunch, huh? Oh, wait, you don't like mushrooms? Oh, I'm really sorry, Sammy. I had no idea about that at all until today. I really didn't know that you didn't like mushrooms at all. Actually, your mom and some of her friends just had a bunch from their gardens and gave me some, so I thought I would use them. Although now that I know that, I was actually making a nice mushroom stew for dinner tonight. Oh no, are you kidding me? You mean there's going to be more of these? Oh my god, why is my life always so hard? This isn't fair, they're so disgusting. I'm really, really sorry for the mix-up, but I've already started cooking the dinner since it was going to take a few hours to stew everything and get it ready. I really had no idea that you didn't like mushrooms, but if you really hate them this much, maybe you can just make your own dinner tonight? Is that supposed to be some kind of a joke or something? Are you trying to starve me right now? Not only did you basically try to poison me with these nasty little things in my lunch, but now you tell me that if I don't eat your stew, then I'll go to bed hungry? What did I do to make you hate me so much? Seriously, what is the matter with you? Sammy, please, I think you're being just a little bit unreasonable. Of course I don't hate you, and I certainly didn't do any of this on purpose or with any kind of intention. I just didn't know that you hated mushrooms so much. You really expect me to believe that? We've been living together in the same house for 3 years already. Are you really trying to make me buy that you don't know what I do and don't like? Honestly, you are just a little parasite living off of us, you know that? Please don't talk to me like this. I really don't think that I did anything to deserve you saying these kinds of things. Please don't call me names like that. Why shouldn't I? I'm just telling the truth, aren't I? You're a parasite, and I'm just calling it how I see it. If you don't like it, then maybe you shouldn't be one. I mean, you used to work for a huge company and be really successful, but the moment you married my brother, you decided to quit. You just forced all of the work onto my brother while you lived the life of a pampered housewife. I don't see how you're anything but a parasite. I already explained to you that I changed my job recently and that I've been working from home. I'm not a housewife, I just have my job at the house now. I work full-time, you know. Oh, please, I know that isn't true at all. How are you going to sit there and try and tell me that you work when you just sit at home on your computer all day? I know that you don't actually work at all. You just try and make my poor brother do everything for you, you leech. I still just don't get why he won't divorce you yet. I asked you to please stop calling me things like parasite and leech. You know, if you're not going to go anywhere all day and just be at home, the least you could do is keep the place clean for us. You need to realize that you're only being allowed to live here at the mercy of my family. But I already do a lot for everyone here. I mean, I get up early in the morning so that I can make everyone's lunches. I feel like I do more than just my share around here. In fact, I would really like it if you actually stepped up a little bit more and helped out around the house. You know, when you talk to me like this, it really makes me not want to cook for you at all anymore. Ugh, I seriously just can't believe you. You are really just the worst, you know that? You don't have any right to talk to me like that as long as you're just living off my brother's hard work. The life you have is all thanks to him, and this is how you treat his sister? You need to understand that you are nothing but a freeloader here. Were you raised to show any kind of gratitude at all? Tell me, are your parents just as bad as you are? Okay, hold it right there. Now, I don't like you calling me names one bit, but I do draw the line at you bringing my parents into this. Do you understand? I am not going to stand for you insulting them. Well, if you don't want me talking about your parents, maybe you should act in such a way that I don't have to resort to that. Honestly, I don't know why we let you bum around here when you contribute nothing. You're just a burden on all of us. Ugh, I seriously just can't take it anymore. I am at my limit with your sister. I don't think I can stand to live with her another day. She is seriously pushing me way too far.
Whoa. Hold on, what's all this about? Did Sammy do something to upset you?
Of course she did. She's always trying to pick on me. But lately it's gotten a lot worse, and today she seriously crossed some lines for me. She was calling my parents stupid, Frank. My parents! And she kept going on about how I don't do anything around here and how I wasn't raised right.
Wow. Did she really say that? That really is taking things way too far. I mean, she already had been taking things far, but that is just too much.
I just don't get why she can't leave me alone. Who does she think she is to talk to someone like that? She is so rude. I mean, as if she has any right to tell me that I don't help out around the house. She is living in our house and she doesn't lift a finger to help.
I seriously just don't even know what to say to all that. I'm so sorry that you had to put up with her and her attitude, Donna. I'll try talking to her and explaining the situation in a way that she can understand it, okay? Let me try and handle this while you process everything, okay?
But Frank, how many times have you told me that you were going to talk to her and nothing has changed? I know that you mean well and that she's your sister, but things haven't gotten better for me at all.
I know, but I mean, please, just let me try one more time.
I don't think you say enough to her. You just let her off with warning after warning. Speaking of, have you even talked with your sister recently? I haven't really seen you stepping in and calling her out on things we've talked about.
Well, I'll do my best, but I can't force her to change. I mean, she just started looking for jobs in March, you know. I'm sure that she's feeling a lot of pressure right now and that she's lashing out emotionally at others, but she really isn't a bad person. She's just really stressed out.
I get that looking for a job can be stressful. I also changed my job not that long ago, remember? But I really don't think that that excuses any of her actions, and I am shocked that you would try and justify the way she's been treating your own wife. What does her looking for a job have to do with my being a so-called freeloader? I mean, she knows that I work from home. You have told her that I work from home and that I'm the only one who works, right?
Of course I haven't told her that I don't work. I haven't told her anything like that at all.
Are you serious? Frank, I thought that we talked about this. We promised that you would talk to her.
But she's my sister. I'm her older brother. She's looked up to me ever since we were kids. I can't let her know that I don't have a job, but my wife does. Think how it'd break her heart if she found out about the truth.
So you're really going to prioritize protecting your own pride over telling the truth to help your wife? I really can't believe that you want to do something as silly as that when you know the kind of pain it's going to cause me. Is this why you haven't been more strict with her?
Well, I'm a brother. I can't be strict here. I still want her to like me. Besides, it isn't like my parents are going to let her live with them again.
That's right. Because they were also sick of dealing with Sammy's attitude, isn't that right? But you don't mind if I'm getting the brunt of it instead, you know. I've been thinking about moving back in with my parents.
Wait, what? Are you serious? Look, please don't do that. Who's going to provide for me if you're not here?
If you're really that worried about that, then I'm giving you one last chance to talk to your sister and set things right, or else. Promise me that this time you absolutely will talk to Sammy and tell her never to call me a freeloader or anything like that ever again. Got it?
Okay, yes, I got it loud and clear. I swear that I'll talk to her and that none of this is going to happen again.
I am serious about this, Frank. This is your final chance. If things don't improve, then I am going back to live with my parents, and that is that. What the heck is this squash doing in my lunch today, huh? Are you serious? You must seriously be trying to starve me or something. I hate squash. Why are you trying to feed it to me? What do you mean? I thought you liked it. When we went to that sushi restaurant and they had the squash tempura, you seemed to really like it, remember? I remember you saying that you thought it was tasty. I'm sorry, but did you bread and deep fry this squash? No, you didn't. It's just nasty, boiled, squishy squash. Why do you think I would ever want to eat this? I guess I just thought that you might have liked it in any form. Honestly, you are so useless. Why don't you know what I like and don't like yet? What is your problem, huh? I would have thought you'd have learned by now, but you haven't seemed to have gotten it at all. Sammy, I think that you and I talked about this not that long ago, right? If you are worried about getting food that you won't like in your lunches, then you should go ahead and make your own lunches. I'm not your mom, and this isn't a hotel, okay? Oh, I know you're not her. At least she could cook. But once again, you're getting your place because you're nothing but a lousy, no-good freeloader. And And if you think that I'm going to sit here and take that kind of take from a parasite like you've got another thing coming. Why won't you just leave Frank and I alone already? If you're going to be so useless, there's no point in us keeping you around at all anyways. Excuse me? Are you serious? Do you think that that's any way to talk to me? Listen, I am the sister of your husband. Got it? That means that it's your job to learn what I do like and what I don't like. It is really that simple. Also, you should know that I already reached out to talk to your parents earlier. I told them how useless you were at home and what a lousy wife and sister-in-law you are. I asked them if this is the kind of person that they raised. Wait, hold on right there. Did you seriously call my parents and talk to them, Sammy? Of course I did, and I let them know all about what a lousy person you were in every single way. I also made sure to let them know that you're nothing but a parasite in this house living off the work of your poor husband. I asked them to tell me how they raised you that you turned out like this. I don't believe this. Honestly, just who do you think you are? You have got some nerve calling my parents and talking to them just to say that kind of crap. Well, I think that your parents were glad to know the kind of person their daughter had become. They were crying so hard and apologizing to me over and over again. They told me to tell you that you were welcome to get back there at any time. You see, we don't want you here, and your parents gave you an open invitation, so just leave already. I don't need a useless little worm like you in the house anymore. Excuse me? What did you just call me? Seriously, what is your problem? Just having to see your stupid face around the house every day is enough to seriously piss me off. You have no idea how hard I work every day trying to find a job, and yet you just rub your easy, cushy life in my face every single day. I can't stand having to live in the same house with you. Just knowing that we breathe the same air is enough to drive me crazy. I get that you're stressed about finding a job, but this is so much more than taking out your stress on someone else. You are just looking for someone to bully, and you chose me without even knowing anything about me. Excuse me? Is the little tapeworm trying to get all uppity again? Did you really forget your place again? I want you out of here. Out! All you do is eat our food and take up space. I wish my brother would just divorce you already. You aren't worthy of living with him. All right then. Fine. If that's how you want it, I guess I'll just stop paying your tuition then. What do you mean? You don't pay my tuition. I also talked to my parents, and my mom said that she would be more than happy if I went home to live with them. I might just move out tonight. Hold on. Seriously, what are you talking about? Why did you bring up my tuition? What does my going to college have to do with this at all? I mean, my parents pay my tuition, so I have no clue what you're on about. They did for the first year of your degree, yeah. But after that, your dad ended up losing most of his savings and wasn't able to continue supporting you. I mean, why do you think he asked you not to live in the dorms after your first year? Hold on. What are you saying? Why do you think my dad lost all of this money? Well, since I'm about to leave, I guess I can finally spill all of the beans to you. Your dad wanted to keep this from you, but he actually lost all of his money in an investment scam. After that, there was no way that he could afford to keep sending you to school. He came to me and asked if I could do anything to help take care of the situation. Hold on. No way. That can't be right. You're not serious, are you? My dad got scammed? And I had no idea about it? That's why he suggested that I move in with Frank? I thought he suggested it because it was really close to campus. Besides, Frank was the one who invited me to come and live with you guys. That was all just a farce so that you wouldn't suspect that anything was actually wrong. But you know, for being a college student, you were kind of slow to notice this. It was all a farce? This has to be some kind of a joke. That's right. I mean, we basically live a short bus ride away from your campus. Your dad didn't suggest that you move back home because they were already having enough financial trouble. But he also wanted to ensure that you didn't find out what had happened, so he planned with Frank to convince you to move in with us. I don't believe this. They all lied to me and I had no idea about it all? I was against it, of course, although you probably could have guessed that. I also guessed that once you found out, it might upset you and that it would have been better just to be honest about things. But Frank said that as your older brother and eldest child, it was his job to do this. I said okay, and then you moved in. I was hoping that things would be fine after that, but You got it in your head that I was some kind of a freeloader here, despite explaining to you over and over again that I work from home. In fact, for your information, I pay for everything in this house. You pay for everything? What do you mean by that? That can't be right. Frank pays for everything and you do nothing. That just isn't true. The truth is that I pay for your school. I pay for our food. I pay for the roof over our heads. It all comes out of my salary. And just so you know, I make $300,000 a year. What? You make that much money? That can't be. That's a huge amount of money. How can you make $300,000 a year? You've got to be lying to me. There is no way that a job you can do from home can pay that much. Well, it's the truth. Not to toot my own horn, but I make bank. Wait a second. I got it. I know what's going on now. You've got to be a streamer, right? That's why you have that big computer, the lights, the camera, and that's why you were playing games from so early in the morning. Oh, so close and yet so far. No, I am not a streamer. I'm actually a programmer. You're a programmer? As in, like, a computer programmer? That's right, a computer programmer. And it wasn't long after Frank and I got married that I was offered this amazing job from a famous video game company and took it. Although because the company is based overseas and there's a time difference, I end up having to wake up early to work. I imagine that the times you were watching me play video games were the times that I was actually testing them. I program some games and I do quality checks on games that others have made. And this foreign company is willing to pay you $300,000 a year for that kind of work? Work that you don't even show up at an office to do. Of all the jobs that I was looking at, the highest salary I could get coming in was just $2,000 a month. And here you thought that I was just doing whatever I wanted at home all day long. I tried to tell you that I had a real full-time job, but you just wouldn't listen. But I still don't get it. That can't be. I mean, I understand that you have a job and that you make money, but I still don't get why it was you that was paying my college tuition. I mean, if my dad couldn't afford to pay it, then why wouldn't it fall to Frank to pay it? Oh, right. Good question. I almost forgot to tell you. I actually have another surprise for you. The truth is that Frank is unemployed and has been for a while now. Wait, my older brother doesn't have a job and hasn't for some time? What do you mean by that? You summarized it pretty neatly there, actually. But yeah, I think this is year 3 of him not working. I think he gave up looking after the first year, though, so when your dad came to us for help, I was the only one with any income. What? This isn't making any sense. I mean, how could my brother not have a job for 3 years? That means that he didn't even have one when I moved in here. That's right. And it was even before your father got scammed. He's been out of a job for a long, long time. I don't believe this. This is too much to take in all at once. This is just crazy. I know, your brother really is quite the piece of work, isn't he? He kept going on and on about how it was his job as the older brother, the eldest son, whoever else, to protect his family, but he doesn't actually contribute anything. Oh, and by the way, your brother actually fell for the same scam that your father did. You mean to tell me that both my older brother and my father fell for the exact same scam? Apparently, your dad did see some returns the first time, and so he invited Frank to invest with him. And that's when the scammer decided to strike. It's actually quite smart if you think about it. Let someone think they're making money so that they invite others to invest, and when you have several people's money, then you take it all. I guess neither of them must have thought anything suspicious of it, though, because they practically went in with all their savings. For Frank, that meant the last of the savings that he was living off of since quitting his job. That can't be true. Please tell me this is all some kind of giant joke or something. No way this is happening. So then, not only is my brother jobless, but he's also penniless? That's right, although he told me about the scam after we had already agreed to take you in. I remember not knowing what to think at all when he sat me down that night and explained that I'd be paying for everything. I remember being in shock and calling his parents to ask if it was true, and that's when I found out that it all was. That's just terrible. How could he do that to you? Not just my brother, how could my family put you in a position like that? It was very hard on me, but It was even harder knowing that as I was doing everything for your family, that you would be at home always insulting me. But no, this is all just one big misunderstanding. You don't get it. So I guess you finally understand the kind of stress that I've been dealing with ever since the day that we took you in, right? But I didn't have any idea of what was going on. Please don't be like this. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not know that for the past few years I was fitting all of your tuition for you without so much as a thank you from anyone? And that while I was doing that for you, you were screaming at me and harassing me and telling me to divorce your brother and get out of the house? Well, now I'm afraid that I have no choice but to leave now. It's just too bad that you had to kick me out before I could finish paying for everything. Oh no, what should I do? What should I do? I still have a whole year of schooling to pay for, but now I know that neither my dad nor my brother have any savings or jobs or anything left to their names. Yeah, that's basically what it sounds like. But anyways, it sounds to me like you have some serious chats to have with your family now. Given the time of day, I would guess that all of them are probably at the casino gambling away what little they do have as we speak. Wait. Why would they be gambling? I don't get it. Aren't they not even supposed to have any jobs? That's right. At first they were all telling me that they were out looking for work, but it wasn't long before I found out the truth. Apparently no one wanted to take a job that paid less than their old job. That or they wanted to work at some huge corporation and wouldn't settle for anything they considered too small. Instead, they thought they could turn their fortunes around by gambling. So even my dad was stupid enough to act this way? I just don't even know what to say. This is so ridiculous. I know that it may be hard to believe, but you can go and check this all for yourself. Anyways, I'm going to start packing things so that I can move out.
What's the matter with you? Why'd you tell Sammy everything? Don't you realise what you've done? She just burst into the casino, started yelling at us, and caused a whole scene. She was crying and kept crying until even my parents were.
And just what is wrong with my telling the truth to her, huh? You were the one who broke your promise to me. I told you to talk to Sammy and tell her not to call me a leech anymore. That was all you had to do. But you were so worried about your pride that you couldn't even do that.
What kind of way is that to talk to your husband? Seriously, just who do you think you are? You get back home and apologise to me right this instant. I'm serious. You think that just because you make a little money that you can treat people this way?
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I've actually already left the house and I don't plan on coming back anytime soon either. You can wait for me there as long as you like, but I won't be around.
What are you talking about? Are you kidding me?
By the way, I left the divorce papers on the living room table, so if you could sign those for me, that would be just great.
Hold on a second. What are you saying? You can't be serious, right? I mean, you want a divorce? That can't be right.
Well, wow, thank goodness that I make $300,000 a year. You think I care if I lose you as a husband? Of course I can lose you, so just sign them already.
Wait, no. Please don't do this to me. Please. I couldn't handle that. Please, let's just talk this out. I know that we can make this work. I can change, I promise. Please, change your mind.
Donna, are you there? Please answer me. I really need to talk to you right now. I just really want you to come back, please. My school is threatening to kick me out. You have to come back and pay for my school. Please don't make me leave. You can still get me out of this mess. There's still time. Is it really such a big deal? I mean, you only have one more year of tuition left to pay. Surely you can afford to pay at least that much, right? It's, what, $3,000? Surely there would be a bank willing to loan you that much. But I don't want a lend from the bank. I mean, I will never be able to pay off the interest on that. There is no way that I could try and take a loan for that much. And since my dad and brother are broke, it isn't like I can turn to family to try and get that kind of money. I don't know what to do. If I really want to take out that kind of money, I'll probably have to turn to a loan shark or something like that. Please, you have to loan me the money. I am begging you. You have got to be kidding me. Are you being serious right now? Do you really think that I would give you that kind of money or ever want to help you after the way you treated me? You've got some serious growing up to do, you know that? Besides, there are plenty of places that would lend you that much money, no doubt. But I already tried asking around for a place to lend me that much and I was rejected every single time. Wait, what? You were rejected for a loan like that to finish your studies? But why? Did something happen? Well, apparently my mom took out several credit cards in my name and maxed out every single one. And so it's all thanks to her that I won't be able to get a loan from anywhere no matter how hard I tried. I've basically been blacklisted. Wow. Well, that is just horrible, isn't it? There was a time when I thought that your mom might have been the one of your family who wasn't quite as bad. But she might actually have been the worst member of your family. There isn't a single person you can trust in your family, is there? But now you understand the awful hand that I've been dealt, right? You have to do something to help me. You can't just leave me like this. None of this was really my fault. I didn't know anything, so you have to forgive me. Please, you're the only one who can help me. I don't have anywhere else I can turn to, as you can see. Look, you can try to beg and plead with me all you want, but the fact is that Frank and I are divorced. I mean, we're not even sister-in-laws anymore. The fact is that you're nothing to me, and I have less than no reason to help you. I don't get it. You can't be serious, right? Please don't be like this. I really need your help. You're all that I have left. I mean, we lived together for 3 whole years. We're friends, aren't we? Isn't that worth anything? You know, in those whole 3 years, for every single one of those 1,095 days, I can't think of a single happy memory that I have with you. Please, I didn't mean any of it. I didn't know. You can't treat me like this. I am so close to graduating. I already told you that I wouldn't help you, and that is final. Just be thankful that you still have your family. I'm sure all of you can work together and figure something out. After that, I returned to live with my family and was able to really focus on my career. A while after I moved back in, my parents told me about the call that they got from Sammy. They just couldn't believe that that was the girl that I'd lived with for 3 years. When they got that call, they felt so bad for me and couldn't wait for me to move back in with them. Apparently, they were so worried for me that they were moved to tears. The last time I heard about Sammy, she had apparently taken a year off to raise money in order to pay for school and finish her degree. But try as she might, she was never able to make enough to pay for her school, her family's debts, and the credit cards taken out in her name. She never was able to return to school, so I heard. I also heard that after I left, things went much worse with her family. Frank blamed his parents for his divorce, and they in turn blamed him for not having better control over his wife. The nightly fights grew so loud that all the neighborhood could hear them. They also only spent more and more time at the casino. They would fight, then all run off to the casino when they got worn out. Olivia, are you there? I really need to talk to you. It's about those documents. You know that today is the last day to submit them, right? I just wanted to let you know that we still haven't gotten them. Oh, well, I'm so sorry about this, but I'm actually not at work right now. In fact, I'm done for the day. Excuse me? What do you mean that you're done for the day? I mean that I have plans tonight. I'm going to go on a big group date, so I'm not going to be kept at work doing overtime. If you want those documents so badly, I recommend that you take care of them yourself. All the files you need should be on my work computer. Olivia, please, how many times have you done this exact thing that you're doing right now? I'm really glad that you have all these plans to do all these fun things, but you need to take care of work. And this year, you've been just awful about taking care of deadlines. Do you realize that? Oh, come on. You have to know that it's not like I'm not trying. I'm giving it my all. I really am. But it's not my fault if the deadlines are too strict and I can't meet them on time. You say that, but we asked for this paperwork from you over a month ago. You have had plenty of time to work on it and get it done, and you haven't. I understand and appreciate that you're working hard, but you have to do better. Okay, fine then, but if you're going to be that way, then that means that you can't use those excuses either. I mean, you're also always going on about how hard you tried to get something done when you failed to meet a deadline or something like that, so if I can't use it, then neither can you. I'm sorry, but I really don't know what you're talking about at all. Let's just get something straight here. You're going to be turning 38 this year, right? And isn't it true that you don't even have a boyfriend? I'm just saying that if you're not even in a relationship, then you certainly shouldn't be able to use that excuse, okay? That literally doesn't even make sense. How does one have anything to do with the other? But since you have all this free time to be going on dates, how about coming back to the office and finishing up your work? If it isn't done today, then you are going to be in trouble, so I recommend coming back and handling this. You mean you're really going to try and force me to miss out on a big date night for work? No way, that's totally unfair. Well, I understand that you're upset, but you did this to yourself. Maybe you should have been more on top of work if you didn't want this to happen, but if you come back now, you might still be able to make it on time. This is just like you. Of course you would try and ruin all the fun that someone younger than you is trying to have. You're just jealous of me because I'm going to go on a date and you're going to be stuck at the office all night. Don't you get how that makes you nothing more than a bully? And just how in the world do you figure that makes sense, huh? Because you are literally trying to keep me from going on a date right now. You're just trying to abuse your position in the company to carry out this horrible grudge you have against me. But don't think that just because you've worked here longer than me, that you can treat me like this. I have rights too, and I'm not afraid to take this to HR. Now hold on for just one single second. I am not bullying at all. How can you even suggest that? All I am asking you to do is come back here and finish the work that you were supposed to have done by today. And miss my big group date tonight? I don't think so. I'll have you know that the men who are going to be showing up today are doctors and lawyers and people who work in town hall. So if you think that I'm going to let you ruin my chances of striking in with some rich guy, then you've got another thing coming. I am going to my group date tonight, and there is nothing that you can do to stop me. Got it? Are you really sure that you want to do this, Olivia? And why can't you do this for me? It's not like you even have anyone waiting at home for you. You're just a lonely old woman, so how about you take care of that overtime for me? In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy my youth and do my best to attract a young and rich doctor or lawyer to marry me. Olivia, just hold on right there. I mean, you are taking this whole thing a bit too far. Your language towards me is unacceptable. I am your supervisor, and you are not allowed to talk to me like this. There you go, the truth comes out. You're my supervisor, so you think you can use me to just get out of work whenever you want. But I have friends in the office. After all, you have your supervisor too, and I know just how to work men like him. Sure, he may be fat and bald, but at least I know that I can use him to trump anything you try and make me do. You really think that you're going to get away with acting like this? You think this is appropriate at all? I don't care what you have to say, but I'm about to get on the subway and I won't be able to message you. So why don't you just leave me alone? Besides, it sounds to me like you should have plenty of work at the office to keep you busy.
Hey Liz, you hear the big news? Your brother is finally getting married. The wedding is going to be at the end of next month, so go ahead and ask for the time off from work now.
You're getting married at the end of next month? But where did all of this come from? This is all so sudden. I mean, I didn't even know that you were dating someone.
I knew that you'd be surprised when I told you about this. But I have to say, of everyone involved, I'm still probably the most surprised about all of this.
And just what do you mean by that, Ian? Why would you be the most surprised?
Well, probably because I only met the woman that I'm going to be marrying last month. We started texts and dating a bit, and now she's pregnant, so, well, that's that pretty much.
Hold on a second. What did you say? You got someone pregnant?
Look, I know we're going through the traditional order of how these things normally go, but I'm going to be a man and accept my responsibility for my actions. So basically, we really haven't even been going out that long, but we're going to be getting married and already have reservations for late next month.
Wow. Well, I just really don't even know what to say. I mean, are you sure about this? It all just seems a bit sudden to be getting married.
I know, but my girlfriend says that she's fine with this and that this is actually how she would want things to go. Now, I know that you probably have a lot of thoughts about all of this, but I have a duty as a man and as a future father to be there for my girlfriend and future child. So anyways, I hope you can look past the circumstances and come to my wedding and help support me.
Ian, have you told Mom and Dad anything about this yet? I mean, do they know?
Yeah, I told him. Dad basically hit me in the gut right then and there, but he said that it was my life and that I was free to live it how I wanted. And he said that he'd rather I step up and be there than abandon someone I got pregnant.
Well, then I guess at least our parents and I are in agreement on that. Especially about it being your life. If this is what you want to do and you're sure about it, then I'm not going to say anything. And honestly, I think it takes a lot of guts to dedicate yourself like this after finding this out. So, of course I'll be there for your wedding.
Liz, thank you so much. You always have my back.
Well, of course. And now I have a really important wedding to look forward to. I can't wait to see you two dressed up walking down the aisle.
Yeah, my girl is just so pretty. I mean it. She is the cutest thing. Of course, she's not just looks. She's also really nice and an all-around super kind person.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you're really crazy about her, but that just makes me happier.
I don't think I've ever been this happy in my life. I could never see myself being married or having kids, but now that it's happening, it's like it was always meant to be. But I also really like that she'll do whatever I say.
Oh, I see. That seems a bit old-fashioned, I guess, but as long as it works for you two.
Well, it's just that women these days always want to try and be all tough and dominant, but my girl is just really shy. I mean, she blushes when shaking people's hands.
Ian, I'm not trying to be rude, and maybe we can just chalk this up to women's intuition, but do you think that someone who acts like that might actually just be pretending a little bit? I mean, if someone is really so submissive that they can hardly even shake someone's hand? I don't know. I guess it's just hard for me to understand how a girl like that could end up pregnant. Again, I'm really not trying to be rude about any of this, but I just don't have a good feeling about this.
Oh, come on. You really don't think that your brother has any game? Girls are just attracted to men who can show that they're willing to put their money where their mouth is. Can you please just accept that this girl likes me for all of my charms?
Oh, right. I forgot how much of a narcissist you can be, to be honest.
Well, look, Liz, I get that you're worried for me, and I do appreciate the concern, but I think that this is a good thing, and that there's nothing to worry about. So anyways, I'm just so excited to get to introduce you to my fiancé at the wedding.
And what the heck is a grandma like you doing at my wedding, huh? Did someone invite you? Because I certainly don't remember adding your name to the guest list. Ugh, why are you even here? How about you just beat it and go home? If you really wanted me to go away, then you should have just told me from the start. You didn't have to dump out your glass of wine on me like you did. Well, I had to make sure that the message stuck and that you would never come around here again. Besides, I know you're only here to try and pick up men from my wedding, so it's my duty to get rid of little pests like you so the rest of the guests can enjoy the wedding in peace. Excuse me? Did you seriously just call me a pest? You have got some serious nerve. Well, it's what you are. You're a pest and I'm the exterminator keeping you out. I mean, really, you think just because you're my boss, you can invade my private life like this? You try and pretend like you're such a hard worker, concentrating on your job, but it's clear you've got boys on the mind like the rest of us. I really think that there has been some kind of mistake here. I mean, you don't actually think I'm here trying to flirt, do you? Of course you are. Why else would some lonely old lady such as yourself show up to her underling's wedding? Or did you just come here to ruin my wedding out of jealousy? Oh, come on, now you're just being ridiculous. I am not. The fact of the matter is that you're nothing but a tottering old lady who can't stand to see women younger than you being happy. That's why you're taking it upon yourself to try and sabotage my wedding. I had no idea that you were such a terrible person. But I am trying to tell you that I'm not doing any of what you're accusing me of, and frankly, I think that you're being very disrespectful. I mean, I'm not even that much older than you, and I'm not here at your wedding to try and pick up men. And just what is wrong with being single anyways, huh? None of what you're saying has anything to do with anything else. You really are just crazy. Do you know that? Ugh, you really have lost it. What is the matter with you? This is what I mean when you're just upset because someone younger than you is doing something that you were never able to do yourself. You're just like this because you saw me in my wedding dress and weren't able to keep your emotions in check. Are you kidding me right now? Please tell me that you're joking about this. I'm not joking, but if you want to stop being the butt of every single joke ever, then you should turn around and go home now. I just don't have room for a lonely old lady at my wedding, and if you don't leave right now, I am going to dump a bottle on your dress next. Oh, I'll go home, but you'll regret it. I can guarantee you that right now. Just go back home, all right? We don't want you here, and nobody even invited you to my wedding in the first place. Why don't you just turn around and go to the office where you belong? I'm sure there's plenty of work waiting for you. I still have plenty of paperwork sitting on my desk and in my computer if you want to go and do it for me. Well, okay then. I'll go home, but you'll have to tell your husband why his sister isn't at the wedding. And you'll have to tell him that I went home because you poured your wine on me. Then you might want to go to work and see what I'll have ready for you there. Wait, what? What are you talking about? Are you saying that you're Ian's little sister? But I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense. I know that your wedding was thrown together so quickly, so you never got to meet the rest of my family. So I suppose I should take this chance to fill you in on just whose family you're marrying into. But yes, I am Ian's older sister, if you must know. Wait, no, this has to be some kind of a joke. Please tell me this isn't happening. There's no way you're actually Ian's sister. Well, I am, and he told me all about his last-minute engagement to some mystery woman. But either way, I was really looking forward to this. I was so happy that my little brother was finally getting married. Although when I heard him describe his fiancée as a submissive little waif, I just knew that something was up. What is that supposed to mean? What would be up? Why would you say something like that? Come on, I know that you think I'm old, but I still know the usual tricks. But you must be a really good actress to have fooled Ian like that. Does he know that you're flirting with at least 5 different guys from the office? I don't think that's the kind of behavior that a submissive woman would do. Wait, no, hold on a second. I think that there's been some kind of a misunderstanding here. Well, you can say whatever you'd like, but I'm going to do as you told me and just go home. Of course, you'll have to explain to everyone at the wedding why the groom's older sister isn't there. But anyways, I'm going to head to the office like you suggested. Hold on, no, don't go home, please. Don't do anything crazy, I'm begging you. Do anything crazy? What could you possibly be talking about? I'm only doing as you told me. If anyone was acting crazily, it was you, Olivia. I mean, have you already forgotten that you poured wine all over my dress? But, I mean, oh, that's not fair. I had no idea who you were. I didn't know that you were Ian's sister. He told me that his sister was a bit older than him, but... I mean, I still had no way to know that it was you. This is all your fault for not making this clearer to me sooner. Excuse me? Please tell me that you're not being serious about that. Of course I am. This is all your fault. You're just trying to ruin everything because you're single. And you're upset because you don't have a boyfriend and you're not married, and that's why I got rid of you. None of this is my fault. It can't be. Everything that led up to me pouring the wine on your dress was all your fault. You can't blame me for this. I am so sick and tired of these lame excuses. Do you really think that you're justified in acting the way you did because of that? And you're about to have a child? I'm sorry, but I really don't think that you're suited to motherhood at all. So you'll just have to tell Ian that it's all your fault that his sister isn't going to be at his wedding.
Hey, Liz, I just wanted to apologize for today. I'll pay for all the damage to your dress, of course.
Oh, you don't need to worry about it. I'm sorry for leaving the way I did. But I heard that the wedding ended up being canceled.
Yeah. I mean, after I heard what Olivia did to you, I just couldn't go through with marrying her. She was much more different than I thought. So I'm just glad that we avoided getting married at all.
So then you're not even going to have the civil ceremony?
Well, I think I'm still gonna do that. I mean, she is pregnant and all.
Well, hold on a second. Maybe you should hold off on that for just a little bit.
What do you mean? Do you think you know something that I don't?
I just... well, maybe we'll talk about this in person tomorrow. Hey there, Olivia. I heard that your wedding fell through. It did. It was all your fault. You ruined my wedding. If you hadn't gone home, then this would have never happened. I can't believe that you're still acting like this towards me. Oh, shut up. Don't think this means that I've given up on your brother. You know that I'm pregnant with his baby, right? So even if there's no wedding, we'll still get married. Yes, Ian told me a bit about that. I told him he was being very mature. So what I want to know is if the child you're carrying is really my brother's at all. How rude of you. Of course it's Ian's baby. How could you even ask me something like that? What is the matter with you? Well, after I left the wedding, I went back to the office like I said I would, and I was doing a little bit of work. But then all of a sudden, I heard my boss shouting from his office. He somehow found out that you were going to be marrying my brother, and he begged me to put a stop to it. He told me he was sure that the baby was his. Wait, no, that can't be right. This is ridiculous. Well, he told me that he had proof of what he was saying, and he showed me lots of pictures of you going out together. But he said that he wasn't going to take any pictures. I have to say that I was really shocked. I mean, this is the guy you said was fat and bald, but at least you could manipulate him. Well, I guess he might have manipulated you into having his baby. Or maybe you were just trying to climb the company ladder? No, there has to be some kind of mistake. My baby is Ian's baby. You have to believe me. I've already taken the liberty of telling Ian all about this, so I think you're better off talking to him about this. Anyways, I don't have anything else to say on the matter, so take care. After that, Olivia called Ian and he refused to go forward with the marriage until a paternity test was taken. And that's how Ian found out that the father was, in fact, my boss. Then HR became involved and ended up letting the both of them go for their inappropriate office behavior. Ian officially called off all wedding plans and even demanded that Olivia pay the cancellation fees for her lying. Instead, my boss agreed to pay for Ian's wedding and he ended up marrying Olivia instead. I have no idea how the two of them are doing now, and frankly, I don't really care. As for me, I was promoted to my old boss's position for always being such a diligent employee. After Olivia was let go, I went to HR to tell them about how I would always be picking up her slack and finishing work that she wasn't able to get done on time. They had no idea about any of that, but were very grateful for all the extra hours that I had put into the job. I also started dating someone, and things have been going very well ever since Olivia left my life. Hey, Fiona, what the heck is your problem, huh? Why the heck were you out walking with our professor? What business do you have talking with him, huh? Who do you think you are? Professor? Tia, I'm sorry, but I have no idea who you're talking about. I am talking about Professor Gray. I saw you two go all the way to your house and he walked you in, so what was up with that? Hold on a second, I didn't know that you knew Jonathan. He's actually my fiancé, but where did you two meet? Hold on a second, you're telling me that the two of you are going to be getting married? Yeah, of course, but as you know, I still live with my parents, so the last time he came over was to meet them for the first time. I had no idea that you and John actually already knew each other, though, but I guess you do because you already knew he's a professor. You've got to be kidding me. I really just can't believe what I'm hearing. You're telling me Professor Gray is really going to be getting married? And to you, of all people? Hey, come on, what kind of way is that to talk about me getting married? I bet you're pretty shocked, though, huh? I mean, we've known each other for so long, but you know, you haven't even said congratulations once to me about this. Oh, give me a break. You really think that I would ever congratulate you for this? There is no way that I can believe what you're trying to tell me. And the reason for that is because I'm going to be the one to marry Jonathan, not you. So let me have him. I will make him mine. Wait, what? What are you talking about? I am talking about Professor Gray. He should be engaged to me, not you. So hand him over. Why would he even want to marry someone like you in the first place? Ugh, this doesn't make any sense to me. How could you do this? I'm sorry, Tia, but I really have no idea what you're talking about at all right now. Are you actually saying that you and John are engaged? I don't have to give you my life story. You just need to hand him over to me. I refuse to let you get away with marrying him. I have always loved Professor Gray, and I'm the only woman good enough to be his wife. Got it? So just get away from him and give him to me. Jonathan, you have got some serious explaining to do. I am serious. What the heck is going on here?
Whoa, Fiona, what's going on? Is everything okay? Is this about something that happened when I was at your place today? Is everything okay?
That is not what I'm talking about, and you should know that. My parents were over the moon to meet you. But the thing is that I just got some very upsetting messages from an old friend of mine.
You got some upsetting messages? Were they about me? Which friend is that? What are you talking about?
It's a friend I've known since we went to school together. Her name is Tia, and I think that you might know her. In fact, she was telling me how you were her fiancé, not mine.
Wait, what? Someone actually said that to you? Is she being serious?
I don't know. I mean, she knew who you were, so I'm just confused and want to know what's going on here. How do you two know each other? What is this all about?
Fiona, I'm really sorry, but I'm pretty confused here. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. I do know a girl named Tia, but if you're telling me that she's been your friend this whole time, that's pretty surprising to me.
Well, you should know that she kept calling you Professor Gray and not by your name. So did you ever have a student named Tia or something like that? I know she was taking college classes as early as when we were back in high school.
Oh, really? So then she might have actually been at the college for longer than I expected.
Yeah, we were together through high school, but then we ended up going to different places for college. But anyways, she was always pretty sharp, and the school had a program to send students to college class if they were advanced enough.
I see. Well, okay, so we'd be thinking of a student I might have had back when you were just finishing high school. I don't know. I was teaching a lot of classes back then to be able to make ends meet. I just really am not sure I'd be able to remember a specific one.
But Tia was saying that you and her were engaged. Surely you should be able to narrow it down from that, right? I mean, did you ever go out with a former student or something like that?
Of course not. You know that I'd never ever do that. I'm not that kind of person at all. I might have gotten chocolate from some students on Valentine's Day or something like that, but you know the high standards that I hold myself to, and I would never do something like what you're implying.
Yeah, I didn't think that you really had it in you to do something like that. I just wanted to see how you'd react.
Well, if that was supposed to be a joke, then it wasn't very funny. Teachers have a duty to help educate their students, but they shouldn't take advantage of the positions they're in to be in inappropriate relations with them.
Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't even serious when I suggested it. It's just that it's what Tia was saying to me.
Well, okay. Next time I go into the office, I'll look through my records, see if I can't find someone with that name. But I guess I'll be going back a while.
I really am sorry to ask you to do all of that, but it would be a huge help to me if you did. I get that this is probably just nothing, but I just don't think I'm going to feel okay until I understand what's going on.
Well, don't worry. I get why you'd be worried about someone saying something like this, and if it's going to put your mind at ease, then I don't mind doing this at all. So I'll check tomorrow and let you know what I find. If I find anything at all, that is.
I knew it. I knew that Professor Gray liked me more than he liked you, and that's why we're going to be getting married. Again with this? What are you talking about this time, Tia? I'm just saying that after I talked to you, I got a message from the professor. I told him how unfair he was being marrying another girl when I like him so much. I told him all about how I've been head over heels for him ever since I met him in high school, and he told me that he felt the same, and that's why we're going to be getting married. I don't know what you're talking about, but I really think there has to be some kind of mistake here. Jonathan would never say something like that. I get why you wouldn't want to believe what I'm telling you, but I'm only being honest. Nothing is going to change the fact that Professor Gray proposed to me. I guess you must be in absolute shock right now, right? Should I call an ambulance? Oh, I don't think that'll be necessary, but I am curious why you have his number in the first place. Oh, come on, you do know that I was a former student of his, right? So of course I would have his phone number. It's not that hard to find. And so you're telling me that you and John were talking and that he proposed to you? That's right. To be honest, I reached out to him, not the other way around, but he still proposed. Yeah, somehow I really don't think that's how things went. He didn't propose to you, and you two aren't getting married. You really need to snap out of this. I guess it's hard to digest for you, but there's no point in lying to yourself. Professor Gray and I have known each other ever since I was in high school, and I know he's liked me ever since then. Why else would we be getting married? I think it was probably the other way around. I think that you liked him ever since you were in high school. But I really don't think that you've ever stopped once to think about how all of this might be making John feel. You don't know what you're talking about. Sure, it's been some time since we last saw each other, but he was my first love, and I told him as much when I was his student. He told me that he appreciated my feelings, but that it would be inappropriate for a student and teacher to be in a relationship. So don't you get it? That was his way of telling me to come and find him when I was more grown up. And now 10 years have passed, and I am finally ready to marry him. When I saw you with Professor Gray, I knew that it was fate using you to bring us closer together. You really think that fate wants you to steal my fiancé from me? Well, of course. Haven't you ever watched a romance movie? There is always some kind of messy love triangle, but the mysterious girl from the past always gets the guy. Besides, I'm only doing what Professor Gray told me to do. I'm coming back to find him now that I'm no longer his student. This is finally our chance to be together. And that's why I told you that he and I were already engaged to be married. I didn't hear you once tell me how he proposed to you. You just jumped to that conclusion all by yourself. Come on, think about it. Or maybe you're just blinded by jealousy and can't see the point I'm trying to make. What point? You haven't demonstrated or proven anything. Now, there's no need to get so upset. Of course, I can't really blame you. After all, you've already introduced him to your parents and everything. I bet you never in a million years thought that I'd be the one to steal him from you. But I'm sorry. It's like I said, I'm only doing what he told me to do. He never told you to stalk him and try to marry him in 10 years' time. You know, this really is just getting sad. I had hoped that you'd finally snap out of this and face up to reality. The fact is that we're fated to be together, and now it's finally all coming to fruition. I am so sorry to steal him from you, so close to getting married, though. Well, you should know that I'm already with John on our honeymoon right now. Wait, what? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the fact that you don't know what you're talking about in the slightest. But you've really upset me with all of these messages, and you've basically ruined this honeymoon. But, wait, you two are on a honeymoon? Doesn't that mean that you two are already married then? That's right. We got married last week, if you must know, and we just left for our honeymoon today. Hold on a second. How could this happen? What do you mean you two married last week? I mean just that. We introduced each other to our families, and then we realized there wasn't really any point in waiting any longer. So we went to the courthouse and we had our wedding officiated last week. We've both already agreed that we're not really interested in a big wedding ceremony. So instead, we've just put all that money towards our honeymoon instead. So then, you two really left to go and be on your honeymoon yesterday? And you're telling me that you're really with Professor Gray right now? Well, I wouldn't call him Professor Gray, but yes, if you must know, I am on my honeymoon with my husband, understand? We both happen to have time off this week, and there were some good deals for tickets online, so we're spending the next weeks traveling all over Europe. This can't be happening. I refuse to believe it. You've got to be lying to me. Professor Gray was supposed to marry me, not you. You two can't be on your honeymoon. That's supposed to be my honeymoon. He's supposed to be my husband. What is going on here? I've told you what's going on, but you refuse to listen to what I have to say. But he's literally sitting here next to me reading these messages, and he said that he never got any messages from you. I really think that you need to go and get some professional help if you've been making this all up this whole time. I mean, you can't even tell the difference between reality and your insane fantasies. I'm not crazy, and they aren't fantasies. Professor Gray and I were supposed to be getting married. You're the one ruining everything. He proposed to me. We were meant to be together. Why are you doing this to me? I found his number and I reached out to him. Are you telling me that I wasn't even talking to the right person?
I'm sorry, Tia, but I think the number you got for me was just a number at the university I work at. You never had my personal cell phone number to begin with.
Wait a second. Are you Professor Gray?
That's right, it's me. I believe you took some classes of mine through the Advanced Studies program at your high school.
Oh my gosh, it's been so long! We're finally getting to talk!
Yeah, I'd actually forgotten all about you, but after Fiona told me about you, I went through my old records and pulled your file. I only remembered you because you were one of the girls who gave me chocolate on Valentine's Day. And I did remember that you cornered me one day and confessed the feelings that you had for me.
So you do remember! That's right. I told you all about how much I liked you, but you told me that we'd have to wait to be together. But now I'm all grown up and ready to be with you. Even though I might have dated some people in between now and then, I want you to know that I never forgot about you. It's so great to finally hear back from you. Can you please correct Fiona about all of this? You have to tell her that you proposed to me.
Tia, please. I just told you that you didn't even have my personal phone number. You only had a work number. None of your messages were even getting to me. They were connecting to a phone in the office.
But, I mean, even if that's true, I still should have been calling you at your work, right? And you did actually propose to me, right?
Well, I've actually been promoted, so I don't even teach anymore. I work more for the administrative side of the school, so I don't even use the kind of phone that you were trying to contact me on in the first place.
But then, all the messages I was sending...
I really have no idea whose actual number you were given, but I'd imagine if you were texting with anyone, it'd be another teacher.
Hold on a second. You mean to tell me that this whole time I wasn't even actually talking to you? So then, when you said that you remembered me, and you proposed to me... I thought I was talking to you, but you're telling me that I wasn't talking to you at all? Then who the heck was I talking to?
I wonder if it's the new professor who we hired recently. Now that I think about it, he is in the office I used to have. And there have been some concerning rumours about how close he's been getting to students lately. So, I guess there is a chance that he might have been pretending to be me this whole time, if he thought it would get him closer to a woman. So thank you very much for sharing all of this information with me. This should serve as enough evidence to finally get rid of him.
But wait, what about me? You're telling me that this teacher lied to me? I was never even talking to you in the first place?
Well, that does appear to be the long and short of it. Really, so I do apologise for my staff. I'll be sure to present him with this new evidence as soon as I'm back at school from my honeymoon with Fiona. But we'll make sure that he is dealt with appropriately, and if possible, we'll seek to have him fired.
No, that's not what I wanted to hear. That isn't going to be enough. I don't want any kind of apology from you. I want you to marry me. Please, you have to. I'm begging you.
Tia, please, just stop this. We were never even talking, and I'd forgotten all about you.
Well, fine. If my message wasn't able to get to you the first time, then let me tell you again how much I love you. I loved you when I was your student, and I still love you now. Nothing has changed about those feelings that I have for you, so please don't leave me.
Tia, you seem to think that I was just waiting for you to grow up. Is that right?
Of course, that's what you told me. You told me that teachers and students shouldn't date, but I knew that you meant you just wanted me to be older. But now I am. I'm grown up, and I am ready to marry you just like you said.
Well, I guess I can see how you might have been able to misconstrue those words, but the fact of the matter is that I never had any feelings for you. I didn't want to be mean and shut you down or turn you away, but I realise now that I should have been clearer with my language. So let me take this opportunity to say that I don't like you. I have no romantic feelings for you, and I most certainly don't want to marry you. Now, I would greatly appreciate it if you could leave my wife alone and quit bothering her over what is nothing more than a miscommunication.
So you don't like me? And you don't want to marry me?
That's right. And to be honest, I don't think it's healthy for you to be so obsessed with a high school crush. Especially one that you had on your teacher. In fact, do you remember all the trouble that you gave me when you were my student?
What do you mean? What trouble did I cause you?
Well, there were a lot of rumours that ended up flying around the school about me. They were saying that I was having inappropriate relationships with the students. When I finally managed to figure out the source of them all, it all had to do with the way that you would talk about me to other students. You put me in serious hot water with the administration. I had to work hard to prove that I had nothing to do at all with what you were saying.
But I never meant to do that to you.
Well, you did. So, I hope you can realize that you made things quite difficult not only for Fiona, but for me as well. So please, before this gets any worse, can you just leave us alone and forget all about this silly crush? Anyways, we're going back to enjoying our honeymoon. Have a nice life, Tia.
After that, Tia finally left us alone in peace to enjoy the rest of our honeymoon. When John got back, he talked to the problematic professor and he confessed to messaging Tia because he thought she was cute. He was fired shortly afterwards. Then John and I went to Tia's parents' house and told them all about what Tia had been doing to us. Her parents were furious and told her never to bother us again. I heard that afterwards, Tia ended up packing all her belongings and moving far, far away. We never heard from her again.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.